The Legends WNBP. It's 8:53. As we mentioned, wanted to talk about the Pink House now. I'm sure you've seen the Pink House if you've been to Plum Island. The Pink House on the way to and from Plum Island, as you head to, it is on the right-hand side, and as you leave the island, it changes the side of the street and it's on the left-hand side. And we have Rochelle Joseph with us. And Rochelle, thanks for coming in and telling us about the Pink House.
Thank you. It's our pleasure. It's such a big part of the community. It's great to talk about it on radio that goes to our community.
Oh, you bet it is, and all throughout the land, people listening online on their cell phones as well with the WNBP phone app, and on top of that, you guys are going to be having pizza.
Yes, we are. We are going to be doing a fundraiser at our local Amesbury Flatbread, which, as you know, supports a lot of the local growers and has some of the most delicious pizza around. And they do a wonderful thing for the community where every Tuesday night, 10% of all pizzas ordered to stay or go goes to a local charity. And in this case, it would be us at the Pink House. And we're also going to be doing a raffle, and we're going to be doing a silent auction. We've got Red Sox tickets. We've got gift certificates from Loretta's. Pam Older, who's also in town, the lovely jewelry store, has given us jewelry. We have tickets to the Stoneham Theater. We've got, and also the Elephant's Trunk has been carrying Pink House clothing by a painter, Ron Emmerling, who did stuff. So it's all local people coming together. Amesbury Industrial Supply is giving us, and they've been a huge supporter, giving us quite a bit of gift certificates, and there'll be lots, a little something for everyone. Pink House painting, an oil painting. So we'd like people to come to Flatbread Amesbury tonight from 5 to 9 p.m. and either stop in, grab a pizza to go, that'll help, or, buy raffle tickets or bid on something and help support us that way.
Yeah, it's Flatbread's a nice place, and they do an awful lot to help out the community, and that's in the Upper Mill Yard. Mm-hmm. Now, for folks who might not be familiar with the Pink House, why don't you tell us what the charm is?
Yes, well, the Pink House is just something. I moved out to Plum Island and drive by it every day. It's across from Bob Lobster, and it's one of the things that makes the area charming and special. And I feel like those are the things that we need to preserve, much like, and in a way, it's become iconic. There's many artists who paint it. There's photographers out there getting it under the, Milky Way and under the sunrise and sunset. And it's extraordinary how many photographs look completely different. Mm-hmm. And it's a little bit like our motif, like they have in Rockport, or a beautiful lighthouse that we want to preserve. It got bought in 2011 by the Parker River Wildlife Refuge. And they have had it, and so it has remained empty, and it is federally owned, which means that they can't just sell it to us, nor like in Maudsley, where sometimes a historic a building could be leased to a public to take care of it, like Friends of a Lighthouse. They can't do that either. So it's been quite difficult and a delicate matter to try to preserve it for the public, but it's been amazing. We've done The Daily News did an article about it being potentially demolished, and because they just were going to take it down because they weren't going to use it. They had former plans for it, but weren't going to. And a Facebook page to discuss that was created, as our community does, by Allison Oldle. And I just like the Facebook page. Suddenly, now we have a steering committee, and 2 years later, we've been doing all this out of pocket, but we have made enormous progress. We have succeeded from getting it torn down twice. Now it is in a place where the Wildlife Refuge is willing to trade it, and we are moving the ball quite a bit behind the scenes as we get the public support through things like liking our Facebook pages and attending things like this fundraiser. We are going to have a presence for our second year on In Street at the Artisans Revival during Yankee Homecoming, which is something where it's all local artists, local food, and everything put on by John Brown. And so if people want to help, and it's gotten written up in the New York Times, the Globe, it's really gotten quite far. And again, it's all grassroots. All our local merchants have stickers and decals on their windows that you can go and get bumper stickers at most of our coffee shops and all of our Plum Island and some Amesbury establishments. And so I love that almost every day I see a Pink House sticker on the back of someone's car. But if you don't mind, I'd like to say our Facebook page there's Support the Pink House is what we're called. If you'd like to go and like our Facebook page, that would help tremendously. That's where you hear about all of our stuff. But since that is a public page where things can be shared, you don't see it in the feed much. We also have something called Save the Pink House Discussion Group. And that's a private group, but that's where a lot of people post their pictures and things. And we also have a website, supportthepink.house.com. That's where you can read our blog. We do have monthly meetings at PETA Hall. They donate that to us. And I just want to say that all of the local politicians have gotten involved and supported this. I first went to to Councilman Earls here in Newburyport. Katie Ives gave us quite a bit of time and support. Bruce Tarr has been instrumental. And really, because it's federally owned, after having all the state support, went to Congressman Moulton and said, look, we need you to help us and make a phone call. He went to Ed Markey and Elizabeth Warren, got them all involved, and to work with, because the Parker River Wildlife is federally owned and they have a whole different set of rules. Mm-hmm. So the most wonderful thing is Bill Peterson, who is the manager over there, has worked with us to help fortify the Pink House a little while we do this, so that while she looks a little like she needs some paint, inside, we've gone through it with a builder, Bill Barrett from Plum Island Construction, each year and found that she's completely sound. There's no cracks in the foundation. There's not mold covering everything. People are astonished and surprised at how good a shape she's in. So she's preserved and secured. She is not being torn down. And we, who have been working tirelessly and doing everything out of our own pocket, have been moving this ball behind the scenes to save it for the community, because we've got signatures from Marblehead to Maine, and people really want this to stay.
Wow. When was the last time it was painted?
Well, probably, that's tough. Someone bought it in 2011 and didn't do anything to it. So Amesbury Industrial Supply was the first to step forward and say, when you do secure the house, we will supply paint. But we are trying to get the house. I can't really say much, but there will be a day. We've got a plan to put a new roof, new siding, new windows on her, but we can't do a thing to it. Mm-hmm. And people have to understand, some people like the slightly dilapidated aspect of it. I just want to say it is not ramshackle, not falling down, not riddled with asbestos. I've gone through it myself. I've seen all of the reports. People have to give her love. People like the slightly abandonedness of her, not the scariness of her. And I think that's why there's been such gorgeous pictures taken. And but it's amazing how many people signed on to that Facebook page, probably 800 in the first 4 weeks. Wow. And anybody who does social media knows that's a lot. And most of those people were local and had a story about how much this house means to them, that they drive their kids by because they drove by it to go to the beach as a kid. Or someone said, my parents used to tell me that's where Santa Claus lived. And we have snowy owls and bald eagles that perch on her, cupola. It really means a lot to the community. It's been pretty surprising to see.
What are some of the other stories you've heard about the Pink House?
Well, let me see. There's people who, actually, Kate Bollock, who's she now lives in Brooklyn, but she's a local writer, and her dad lives here. She wrote a big article in the New York Times about how she fantasizes that she could be a writer and live in that top floor of the Pink House. The Stott family used to live there, and they said that it was great as kids because, the water rises at all those houses on Plum Bush Down, and they said sometimes they could open their back door off the porch and want to paddle out into the marshlands. But, I've been in that cupola, and it's magical. It's bigger than you think up there. It's all wood, and it's got a 360-degree view of everything. You see all the way to the horizon on both sides, and magnificent sunsets and sunrises from up there.
Wow.
It really is beautiful.
Yeah, no matter if folks love to take pictures and do paintings and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's been very important to the artist community, and you will see Pink House ornaments and Pink House coloring book things. Even the banks put it in their calendar. It really is a local icon. I mean, it's everywhere you go. So we hope that all of our hard work is paying off. And if people would like to volunteer, they can write us at info@supportthepink.house.com, or they can just go on our website, supportthepink.house.com, read our blog posts and stuff, and there is a contact sheet where you can say you'd like to volunteer, or you can come to it's the third Wednesday of every month at PETA Hall. Come to our local meeting, hear about the progress, or whatever. But we'd love to, or like our Facebook page and volunteer. There's many ways to reach us, and we think it's a big, feel-good community love project that there's nothing bad about in a time where there's been a lot of bad news. Mm-hmm. And I think that's one reason it's taken flight, because I think good makes more good.
Well, very well said.
Yeah.
One of the good places to start, of course, is at Flatbread Pizza in Amesbury tonight in the Upper Mill Yard, and 5 until 9, and a portion of the sales will go to support the Pink House and all your efforts there, so you don't have to dig quite so deep into your own pockets to help support the Pink House.
Yes, you don't. Thank you.
That's a good thing. And again, a portion of the proceeds for all the pizzas, and whether you eat in or take out. If you eat in, of course, it's a wonderful atmosphere over there anyway. And participate in the raffles that are be going on, and some of the raffle prizes.
Yeah, it's 100% of our raffle and auction items. Red Sox tickets. We've got gift certificates from Loretta, Pam Older Designs. We've got beautiful pink and crystal earrings from Bella Bead Studio. We've got a beautiful 16 by 20 print of the Pink House in the Rain on canvas by Sandy Tilton. We've got an oil painting of the Pink House from Peggy Hogason James. We've got books from all of our local authors like Edith Maxwell, who's an Amesbury mystery writer, Connie Hambley, Satin Russell, Nancy Crocher. We've got Jack's Jumpin' Jay's Seafood up in Portsmouth, a $100 gift certificate to that. We've got Pink House clothes. We've got sweatshirts that are Pink House. We've got T-shirts. We have mermaid. There's a really rare mermaid hoodie and tank that people are dying for that Elaine Chechnelli donated to us, and people want that. We've put all of this on our Facebook page. And Newburyport Art, which is the gentleman who's on our steering committee who designed our logo that you see everywhere and our brochures. He is also giving a gift certificate to get lessons from him or have design services. And there's many local people. And Amesbury Industrial Supply, of course, gives us gift certificates. And they got something for everybody over there.
Oh, definitely.
But we do want to thank Flatbread. They put our bumper sticker on their window on their own. And it's very kid-friendly. They've got great desserts, great adult beverages, the most fantastic fresh pizza, and organic salads from all of our local growers. So they support the community. We should support them.
All right. Well, that's Flatbread, and that's going to be happening tonight, 5 till 9, and all in benefit of the Pink House on the way to Plum Island. And Rochelle, you're very enthused, and congratulations on that. And looking forward to seeing the Pink House stand tall forever and ever.
Thank you. We appreciate your support too.
All right, Rochelle Joseph, our guest, talking about the Pink House, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that as time goes on. Here in the Legends WNBP, it's time for the news.
Legendary songs, legendary singers, and information you need on The Legends, WNBP Newburyport.